Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry about that. I took a moment to make sure I was actually videotaping. Welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne, and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. And welcome to August readings. Yay, August! And the featured love connection reading for today is for Leo. And happy birthday, Leo. If it's today, happy birthday. Actually, it's your season, so it'll be happening with birthdays in Leo through the 22nd of August, and I pray you're having a great time because that's exactly what it's supposed to be. And yes, I know you get a little sentimental and you kind of put things into perspective. I think a lot of us do that when our birthdays come because we kind of, we think about where we are to this point and where we'd like to go, and it's just a beautiful time to just enjoy yourself while reminiscing or planning what incredible creative endeavors are coming down the pike for you as an amazing fire sign that is ruled by the sun. So the vitality and the illumination and the joy and the, just this beautiful, courageous, kind of strong leadership quality that you tend to have, that people stop and listen, right? And you definitely want to be heard. You love being center stage. The world is your stage, right, Leo? A lot of Leos I know are in fact actors, and they're incredibly good at their craft. I happen to have a brother that's an actor who's a Leo and has been for years. And so, yeah, you do really well when you have your mindset and that passionate heart of yours on a certain idea or creation, whatever it is. You don't have to be an actor by any means, but trust me, whatever you put your heart and soul into, you do it the best, okay? Because you want to be seen in that light. And you want the recognition. You're not shy about that. You have pride. And you want to be, told how good you are, bottom line. So be it, because you are good. I appreciate that confidence. I really, really do. And it rubs off on all of us during your season. I feel more energetic. I do have a moon that's a fire sign, so that's been really, really helpful. And not to say that August isn't going to have its, moments, because for heaven's sakes, it's life, right? And it doesn't matter. I mean, we all are affected by the planets, whether we know it or not. But we're affected in different degrees. And those of us that, like I said in the last couple of readings, that don't know anything about astrology, I mean, your life goes on and you just take it as it comes, right? Which is a beautiful way to be. If you study astrology and you recognize the patterns and the cycles and just the energies that could be there, that could affect us as a kind of a heads up and just a wonderful guide for us, nothing to be fearful of, nothing to be worried or concerned about, and sometimes useful as ways to kind of maybe get around situations that wouldn't be the most pleasant, because that's what I like about it. I mean, if I know there's certain times that are going to be a little more spicy or people are going to be more on edge, which has happened, many times because of the help of the guidance of knowing what the planets are doing. I feel it. I know a lot of people do. You know how you feel a lot of times during a full moon, you're like, why is everybody being so crazy? Luna, lunatic, lunacy, it all kind of derives from that. It's a very important part of all of us, that moon in us is our emotions and our reactive aspects, and let's face it, fire is reactive. It's a reactive sign, and it's bold and it's kind of a flashy kind of thing, and then it goes away and you're recovered, or if you're mad, it doesn't last long. You don't usually tend to hold grudges depending on what other planets you have. I have to make that clear. This is a general reading though. But yes, it's all about you, Leo, and you love that. So I hope you're celebrating, and I bet you have other Leo friends and other fire friends that are coming, and I pray you're going on vacation as well, because this is the time, this is the month. It's the last full month of summer. Many of us couldn't even celebrate our birthday, let alone go anywhere last year. So I hope that's happening for you, and you're in your honest, full joy and emotionally comforted, time with your highlighted connection. Let's see what that is for you today. What spirit would like you to know about this particular connection, relationship, love connection, I call it, but it's all different forms of love. Heck, it just be about yourself and, just feeling really fulfilled for a change, because you've been able to just be still and maybe think and once again, contemplate on where you want your life to go, and where it's been thus far. I mean, those things are important. They're so important for all of us. To know thyself, right, is a quote by somebody, but is super important when it comes to relationships. It's a better way to be able to navigate through them, or recognize that, we are different than other people, but that's okay. And the ones we get along with better, that's cool too. Let's see who yours is specifically. Now, this doesn't have to be somebody you're knowing right now, or it doesn't have to be romantic, like I said. It could be the energy of this other zodiac sign that will be the highlighted connection for you today. So who is this for the beautiful, beautiful, vibrant, fixed sign? Determined sign of Leo. Capricorn. Okay, this isn't the first time I've gotten this for you as a highlighted, and I get it, because Capricorn is very, very interested in success, and they want to be recognized too, but on a different level. Capricorn is the earth sign. Okay, they're more grounded, they're more like determined, yes, but they are a cardinal sign, so they like to keep busy, and they initiate things. They initiate the season of winter. They don't really get set back by like obstacles. For example, they are known as the goat symbology, and goats can climb the highest of mountains and crags, and they're just like standing sideways, chewing the grass, and it doesn't affect them at all, right? Their modus operandi, as I love that word, is to just upward and onward. Just my whole inspiration as a earth sign that is dealing with practicality and day-to-day circumstances, and the ground in which I walk under, the real tangible things I can see, feel, touch, and the money that I need to make in order to be comforted and live in luxury if I choose, which many of you do. That's the kind of energy you get with Capricorn. Now that's a loyal, kind of very steadfast energy that is appealing to you, because you're an intelligent sign, Leo, and you like being on stage and all that, but sometimes you don't necessarily want to do the paperwork or the business end. Not always true. You're capable of the business end, but what I'm trying to say is, if you delegated and had this connection or this romance or this person that was more inclined to just be natural at that type of thing, works really well with you, as different as you are. It's a very harmonious, complementary kind of energy. I see it all the time. And it's because of the stability that it brings. It's because you like to feel rooted, and you're very sentimental in a lot of ways, and you don't like change that much either as a fixed sign. Even though, Capricorn is not a fixed sign, there is the ground element of earth that tends to be a little slower to change, not really necessarily wanting to go from one thing to another, on a rapid pace. They're slower moving that way. They're just more methodical. And then you've got the Saturn energy that rules Capricorn. So there's a real just structure, and just, time is important, and it's going to be a constant, and it's going to be continuous, and it's going to be done until it's done right, and it's going to be done until it's perfected, and it's going to be done until it's successful. End of story. Those are the kind of people you want to associate with, Leo. It looks good with you, birds of a feather. And yeah, it matters a lot to you who you associate with, and if they are going to bring something to the table or not. Pure and simple. And why not? I mean, that makes perfect sense, because you want to be a star. You are a star. Even though you're ruled by the sun, which is also the brightest star, right, in the galaxy. So it all makes sense. But I like this for you in a lot of ways, and we do have Venus did go into Virgo, which is a fellow earth sign, so that's very complementary right now with any earth sign, Capricorn or Taurus. And that's about love, that's about money, that is about magic and the feminine side of things, where there's more recognition and intuition, working with your inner side, with your inner truth. We all have to have that at some point. We have to have that duality of the masculine and feminine. So there's a powerful, energy happening with the Leo, which is very masculine, and then you've got this, very beautiful, kind of wonderful earth element with Venus in Virgo that just, I don't know, it just softens things, but it also just makes things very attractive, you know, things feel better, especially with the same element as you have, Capricorn. So that's rubbing off and kind of bleeding into the relationship right now. And then you have Mercury in your sign right now, Leo, as well. So there's a lot of clarity in your conversations. And there's nothing better than having good conversations with those you care about or love, or the connections, or in work. You want yourself to be understood, and that's happening beautifully right now. And so ideas are just seeming to just, you know, the wheels are churning and they're working in the right direction. And that's such a beautiful thing. And I'm hoping, nevertheless, like if you're on vacation, that you're just taking the time to just put that aside for now, okay? You'll come back, you'll both work at this again. Maybe this whole connection with this Capricorn is just about getting out into nature and going camping or doing whatever you'd like to do, go to the beach, whatever nature, you know, excites you, because Capricorns love nature too, and they're really good at it, and they would be a good person to show you maybe places and things or circumstances or the ways to glamp or camp, whichever you prefer. Yeah, but you'd have heart-to-heart talks, though, is what I'm thinking. It doesn't have to all be put into action, you know, which is what you are. You're that action element of fire. But I feel like it's more on the level of just, let's just take it calm. Let's just have that kind of ease about it, and we'll come up with some more details and some more, you know, possibilities. And with the new moon in your sign coming up on the 8th, Leo, bam, that's the time. That's the time when you can actually, if not that day, not necessarily on the same day, I must retrieve what I just said. After the new moon is really going to motivate you, and things are going to just like fall into place, okay? So let us see what these beautiful messages under the 4 major categories. I've added an extra category. I'm not doing the rune this month, but I just feel like this last category seems to be really appropriate. And the 4 categories tend to answer all questions regarding all relationship, you know, circumstances, I find. So today is actually August 2nd, and I'm wanting to do my best, as I said I would. I like to keep my word. I'm a very busy person now with my work, really building and building since we've been able to go back. And so I'm fitting it in the best I can. And what I'm trying to say is I'd like to have the first half of the month readings done in the first 4 or 5 days, if I possibly can. That's my goal. And if in the past I've done 1 a day until the mid-month, and it's energetic and it's real and it's raw and it's authentic, and all this is as well. But anytime you watch the readings, honestly, as far as energy and spirit, is perfectly fine. But we'll give it some time then between the beginning of the month readings and the mid-month readings. And then you can see where the comparison is when you come back and watch those. So overall energy for you and this highlighted connection of this beautiful Leo Capricorn combination. If it's not a person you know of, Leo, give it some time. You know, there's a lot of energy in the outer planets are retrograde. And then we have the last one being Uranus going retrograde, I think on the 19th. Don't quote me on that, I apologize. I want to say the 19th. Could be the 17th. So it's almost like a Mercury retrograde, but Mercury is more about the mind and clarification and how we're speaking, and that's not affected right now. It's so beautiful. Transportation should be pretty darn smooth. All the things that Mercury tends to affect when it does retrograde. But there's still a feeling of kind of, I don't know, I've been feeling it myself. I thought, are we in a Mercury retrograde? I know we're not, but things are changing, and, you know, well, it's vacation time too. Like for my clients, when they want to reschedule, I get it. Because they need to get out, boy. We all need to get out. And I just, like I said, I pray you're doing that as well. It could be a feeling you're getting, though, with this Capricorn. It could be that grounded feeling. You're feeling more, you know, just more stable. Ooh, okay. Overall energy starting the month right now is the 8 of Swords. So this is, oh my gosh, this is the air element. Yeah, this is what we get to deal with. I am an air sign, so we have a lot of things going on in our mind at all times. Now, the first thing I think of right off the bat is that you may have air elements in your chart, Leo, because of course you think, we all think, but air is all about thoughts. So to the point where it gets way too much. The moon is in Gemini today. This is a very complementary energy for you, Leo, but it provokes the mind, ruled by Mercury, is what, not only Gemini, but also these influences we're feeling as we approach this season of Virgo. Virgo also is ruled by Mercury, so it is a very mind-oriented time. And even if it's not about the action, all those thoughts are really starting to really get into play, and they're really feeling inspiring and motivating. And there's the detail I mentioned, like with the Capricorn. And so what I'm feeling is that there's a lot of thoughts that you may be creating, right? We do it. It's a natural process as a human being, I think, that might be tripping you up. Like too many thoughts, like, oh my gosh, I'm worried about this, and what about that detail and all that. And it's part of the Virgo influence, I'll be honest, because they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, and they tend to be very hard on themselves. Not a lot of people don't know that. They don't see that on the exterior part, but I think you're picking up on that. So all I want to do is invite you to just stop and take your deep breaths when you got too much going on up here, because it's not going to do you any good, and it definitely takes away from your fun time. You want to have fun in your birthday season, right? This is for you. This is really, truly for you, and you got beautiful energy and magical, things that happen during this time for you, because it is your special time. And so just remind yourself, this is self-induced worries and concerns. They're not necessarily real. And that's, depicted by the way that if you look closely enough, the swords are not really in the way of this person. I mean, and the blindfold is there, but it could be easily taken off. So it's about, what we do, how we think, totally our control. How we react to words and conversations we're having that don't necessarily rub us the right way. I know you can have a little bit of a temper. I've known many Leos. Don't let it get to you. That's super not important right now in the big scope of things. It's just not. So enter into August saying, nope, I will not allow myself to get caught up in my thoughts. And if I hear people starting to instigate that in me, or, kind of ruminate that kind of thought, I'm not going to be associating with that right now, because I don't need it, and I don't want it, and it's my time, and I want to party and have a good time. And you know what? That's the best advice I can give anybody, because I myself have this issue. And especially at night when you want to sleep or something, and you're like, what the heck? I have a really simple little tip for that. Ask to go down to your heart chakra, because you have a big heart, Leo, and you use it all the time. So when you say to your mind very clearly, I don't want to think about that right now. I want to feel. You go down to your heart, and it like instantly just shuts that out. Thoughts are clouds, right? They're just like our minds are the computers, right? They retain so much stuff. I've never been so blown away than when I really started a regimen of meditating, which I've been doing. And it's at least 15 minutes, but not more. And sometimes less, when I feel like I've really gotten myself to feel relaxed and allow information to come in and that sort of thing. But the point is that all of a sudden I'm just doing the breathing and listening to my breathing, and these thoughts that come into my mind, they're so incredibly random, and they come from when I was 4 or 7. How can that be possible? Well, they're all up here. It's like files, like a computer. It's just that, it's not that, it's just a thought. It's all it is. And if it's a fear, it's just something we're thinking that may happen, but we really don't know. And it's just like, we're not doing ourselves or our bodies any good by that. The more we realize that and just take the breaths to release that, the better off we are, boy. I like that coming up, because it's important for all of us to know, and you don't want to be tripped up by that. Nobody does. And the swords represent Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So maybe somebody around you is kind of stimulating your thoughts too much, and you need to just step aside and leave that for now, and just remove yourself from the situation, okay? or the conversations. So we only want it to be uplifting right now. No worries. Be happy. It was one of my favorite songs. God, that was a good song. So we'll move on to the next category. And by the way, I'm using the beautiful Gilded Tarot by Sarah Machete, and I love it. It feels good. It's great energy. And yeah, so the second category is the possible blessings or obstacles. There you go. You let go of your thoughts. You don't let them tie you down, keep you up, worry about things you really don't have answers to. And you have the world. It's a complete change of heart. It's a complete about face. You are moving in another direction. It's a vortex for you. You have the world in your hands. You want to travel. You want to move. You want to move away from thinking things that do not elevate you, or, that are not for your highest good. You get so much potential and so many opportunities. And it does represent, the possibility of moving, figuratively, literally. Maybe your mind, for sure, of, fear to optimism and positivity, which we can do at any time. Also, fear, a move from one job to another. Certainly traveling. Foreign comes into foreign travel. If not figuratively, spiritually, through the internet. I mean, we can reach anybody on any single continent with the internet, which is it's phenomenal. And more amazing technology and things are coming through with the very strong element of air coming for the next 20 plus years or more. And that's always, especially with the Aquarius, which we're in right now, as far as the major air with Jupiter in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius, it is definitely mind and inventions. And Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is surprises about technology and medicine and all those incredible inventions and new things that surprise us and help us all in some way. So that's the blessing. Realizing I'm not going to do the things that cause me grief or concern. It's a mental thing. We need to all check our mental health, right? I know I do. It's on one thing to say, oh, I feel good today. Do you though? Are you happy? Are you finding joy? Are you feeling like you can talk to people if something doesn't feel right, so that they can lift you up? Nothing else. And it looks like you want to do that very thing. This is your time. This is your new year. How are you going to, how do you want to spend it? And then the year after that, and so on and so forth. I think you really want to change things up. I do. I think it's time. It doesn't matter if you're young, old, or whatever. It's not about that. It's about just a revelation and a transformation, which is what this year is absolutely bringing into the forefront for a lot of us. I love that. I love how that went from a negative possible, shadowy aspect to going the other way. Next category is the financial category. And you have the Page of Swords. So yeah, this is once again the element of air. So there's information, and this is a messenger. Pages are messengers, knights are messengers. Pages are more youthful. They're more as I say, green around the edges. So the information is still kind of new and not necessarily something you're fully aware of, or it could have to do with somebody that is a youthful person coming forth with the information, maybe a child, maybe just somebody younger than you, or someone who acts younger, or you yourself, or in touch with your child, inner child, which is something I always ask that everybody just make sure that you're being as silly and kooky as possible. Look at the way this child or this page is dressed. I mean, this is fun. So I'm just seeing fun and once again, partying and having fun, being safe and taking care, but just being a goofball, making jokes, being the center of the stage at your parties, right? And inviting that kind of energy around you. But certainly information coming forth could be really inspirational, really important for you. Could be about wanting to have children, having that conversation, but at the very beginning stages, right? You're changing your life in some perspective, and it could very well be that you're deciding to add that to it. Or you're about to have a child, and it's all really, really new and exciting. But maybe you're worried about this, that, and the other, and what happens if this, well, who knows? Nobody has that book. No parent really knows. You're never actually really ready. You just do it. And if that is the case, congratulations, because it's an amazing, amazing journey that I am so grateful to have experienced and am experiencing still. So yeah, things are changing and absolutely for the better. And of course they should, and you deserve that. And the final category I added, which I just did this month, is it's actually under the category of wishes and surprises. Surprises and wishes, kind of both. Well, with the Uranus energy that's very prevalent with Aquarius, but also because it's in the sign of Taurus, which will be for till 2025. Uranus is, it's going retrograde at the end of like 19th or so. I don't remember exactly. I apologize. This month for about 5 months. And man, I mean, that's internalizing again. That's just these unexpected surprises within ourselves. Like, wow, I didn't think I'd ever feel that way. I didn't know that I'd want a child. I didn't know that I'd be so in love with this person. You know, I didn't realize that I had that capacity, but we all do. We have so much capacity to love because you went from your mind to your heart, your big, huge, passionate heart. Leo, you know how to love. You spoil everyone you love dearly. So let's see what that card is for you now. Oh, it makes me want to cry. I love it when it's synchronistic like this. Life is getting better for you. And I know it was rough. It's rough. It's been rough for a lot of us. It is the Two of Cups. It's about your love. It's about your partnerships. It doesn't have to be romantic. I know, and I mean that. But I feel like for a lot of you it is, because you know you're Leos and love means a lot, and I mean romantic love. And you could be with this person for so long, or it could be somebody new that's just really fulfilling you emotionally and just making you feel like a kid again. Like a kid, like a page of swords. You just want to talk for hours about everything and get to know each other, and it feels really right. And like I said, it could be an influence of an air sign for sure. Or maybe, you know, a friend that you've lost contact with that you really decided, hey, I need to get back in touch because we hadn't seen each other since we were kids. Or a family member, whatever. Healing is essential, you know, reconnecting and just really, you know, just having a beautiful time and feeling this creative energy as well when it comes to the cups. Because this is the water element, right? And that is our hearts and that is our creativity and just, you know, feeling each other's needs, you know, without saying anything. It's really beautiful. So, wow. I'm emotional. I got emotional from that because it's something I wanted to see, especially after the worry kind of energy that you've come into the month with. That's not going to last. Okay? That's the good news. Now, I have been pulling a new oracle for every single sign, and this one was actually from my last reading. I'm sorry. So I'm going to pull one right for you in front of you that I feel right now is super important for you. And it's just coming to me, and of course it makes sense. And I hope that you will agree. And your beautiful oracle for this month is going to be, yeah, I love this. Whoops. It's like a domino effect. The Starseed Oracle. Because we're all starseeds, but there's something really magical about you. And that energy has really been coming through. And perhaps you know exactly what I'm speaking of, but the cards will tell more. And this is the deck by, I can't see past my nose, forgive me. I always attempt to though, don't I, for those who watch me for a while. This is by, oh, well it doesn't really say here. I absolutely love it though. It's one of my favorites. It is through Hay House, you can order it. And yeah, it just has some very, very insightful information. And you're an insightful person as well. And you know, the thing I didn't say that I need to, absolutely, is you're very, very intuitive. And I know why, because a lot of things, something I don't think a lot of people know, nor did I, before I became interested and actually visited and read the book and just became immersed in the fact that there's a company called Heart Math, forgive me. And it just explains very clearly with all the tests they've done throughout years and years and years that our heart is the most intuitive organ in our body. and it has incredible intelligence. And it is also something that creates that wave outwardly for across the world type of thing. And you hear these stories about, well, twins, because they're, definitely connected, but we're all connected. And they just do these incredible, you have to get the book, Heart Math. And this beautiful organization that I pray is still there, but I don't know since the fires and everything, to be honest. I don't think it was affected. It's in a small little town called Brookdale. Boulder Creek, forgive me, there's a motel called Brookdale Lodge. It's in Boulder Creek. So look it up. It's unbelievable. And I am digressing a little bit, not really, because the point is that you have this intuition because your heart is you're so focused and passionate. That's what creates everything for you. It comes from right here. And then that fiery aspect just brings it to the forefront. So let us see what your wonderful, beautiful oracle message for the beginning of the month is for you, Leo. Deep cellular healing. Whew, that would appropriately say what the world is saying. It's a time for complete change. And it could be on a cellular, of course. It could definitely be on a physical and, movement to another place, city, traveling, all of the above. But I love that. And the words associated are Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. It is that time, especially when you decide to make it that time. And that is the beautiful illustration. So I will read to you what it says for deep cellular healing. Oops, I opened to a D. That's really cool. And it was the page just before that. Whoa. Your body knows how to heal. Healing is your natural state. Physical and emotional disharmony can be a reflection of how the world, inner and outer, has been out of alignment. If you're suffering from a mystery or chronic illness, don't allow yourself to think you've done something wrong. Okay? First card out. Today, it's difficult to navigate our health. If this card has made its way to you, you're being called to focus on your healing in practical ways, to prioritize your health, to be kind and tender to your miraculous body, to give yourself the grounding with the Capricorn energy, that's your highlighted connection for today, or that energy alone, and to put your body first, to nourish yourself as you would a newborn baby, to treat yourself with tender care. You may be called to switch things up with your body or your emotional well-being. And like I said, emotion is essential. And I know because I have personal issues with family and circumstances with that have been deeply, affected me and many of us in the world. So, yeah. The Arcturians, Arcturians are a galactic group of beings who have mastered deep cellular and emotional healing. They want you to know that it's possible to feel vibrant in your body and well in your skin. To have your cells return to effervescence and vitality. That's who you are, your vitality, constantly. To find calmness and contentedness, to have a soothed nervous system and a tranquil heart. Well, this is absolutely beautiful. Just the words to think about, and that's inspiration that's brought just for you, Leo. And I feel like it's a really wonderful, beautiful birthday season kind of message, right? It's good for any time, but especially now. So yeah, that's deep. I feel that. I really, really do. I feel that deeply myself. And I hope you do as well. And it brings you something very special. And the final card is the Super Attractor Manifestation Oracle, which is about bringing the life you want into existence because you emotionally make that happen. That is a very key component. Like attracts like. There's always a currency of what you're putting out comes back. You want good stuff, feel good. Bring that to the forefront and you will receive it. You honestly will. You will create the life you want. So I really appreciate you being here deeply. And if you liked what you saw, or you would like to but support my channel, please push the subscribe, like, or share. It's a beautiful gesture, and I love the fact that that's been happening at all, but the more the merrier as far as YouTube's concerned. I love that I feel like I'm doing something that may lift you and make you feel good. That's fully my intention with my readings. So yeah, just a little note about that, and a thank you in advance. And so your last message for today, this has come up a lot. I really, really love it because it has kind of a dual purpose as far as I'm concerned. But it says, I feel my way into faith, one step at a time. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And with your strength and your courage to overcome and to be and, progress in any way you want is right there for you always. And here's the card. It's not a new moon, but it's like in between your new moon of Leo and then before the full moon in Aquarius on the 22nd. There's a lot. There's a lot going on, but it's absolutely incredibly wonderful. And it's going to be a life that a year that you will never ever forget out of a lot of years that hopefully you'll be living. And I say that because I think it's going to be an amazingly good year for transformation, no matter what. And you've got the bridge that goes from one way of thinking or living to the other, the movement of earth and the world, and that grounded, passionate, root chakra that keeps us present and balanced and empowered and alive. So there you go, Leah. Happy birthday. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I enjoyed reading this for you because it's really been an incredibly beautiful reading with a lot of wonderful possibilities and information coming through for you. So thank you again, and until next time, take great care. Bye for now.